Hey everyone, this is Pyre from TFEW. Today I want to talk about how I power level my bots. There are a number of different schools of thought on leveling up your bots. So one way that a lot of people are used to is if you don't have a lot of cyber coins, and or you're not willing to use your cyber coins for leveling, for paying for cooldowns, then what you do is you run multiple teams in parallel to use up your fuel cells, and you wait for your cooldowns. The result of that is you're going to have a lot of evenly balanced teams. Your bots will generally be all around the same level if you started leveling them up at the same time. But you're not going to get a supermax team quickly, and that may hurt you in wars. It may be fine for events, and it may be fine for resource farming. But ultimately, if you want those sparks, you want a top A team for your alliance wars. The other school of thought is that you only focus on a few bots at a time. You pick your top bots or your highest level bots, and you just start burning through fuel cells and cyber coins to get them leveled up as much as possible. I prefer the second method because number one, that gets you to a really strong A team a lot faster. And number two, once you have even a few bots that you can rely on for power leveling, what you do is you use those high level bots and then you sprinkle in some of the lower level bots, and you basically leverage those strong bots in order to power level the weaker ones, because when all of your bots are weak, you can only hit lower zones. But if you have a few stronger bots, you can start to hit higher zones, and you're going to get more XP for each bot. And definitely take advantage of all of the weekend events in order to get that double XP. Can't stress how important that double XP is. You will literally level up your bots twice as fast as during the week. All right, so let me move this annoying assistive touch thing out of the way. So, oop, not what I want to do there. All right, so I'm going to show you, why don't we go right in? I'm going to show you my method of power leveling. Keep in mind that if your bots are not at the same level as mine, that's fine. All you need to do is just adjust accordingly. So let's go into battle, and let's I apologize. Let me go and look at the team first. So first thing for you to do is you've got to decide which bots you want to level up. Let me actually change the view here because the research lab gives you a slightly better view of those that are not max. So pick the bots that you want to power level. Someone asked me if they should focus on 3 stars at all, and I saw this guy's deck, and he has some really good 4 stars that are in need of leveling. They're, I think, in level 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I told him no, you should expect to lose some wars, honestly, while you're doing this. But once you have a few of those 4 star bots leveled up, they're going to start to become monsters, and they're going to carry your team. So here you can see that I've got a number of 4 star bots leveled up maximum to level 50. And that helps tremendously because then I can utilize, I'm going to show you how I utilize those guys to level up the weaker bots, right? It's not only about running battles for those bots that are in need, but also how you leverage other bots in order to minimize the cooldown costs. So in this scenario, you can see that Windblade is pretty much up there. And so generally, my current leveling team is 4 star Windblade. It is 3 star Optimus, only because I don't have a 4 star Optimus, and because his his inspiring charge ability is so key to this game that I decided I was going to spend time and energy on him. Of course, I'm going to regret that the moment I get a 4-star Optimus, but I may also never get a 4-star Optimus. Thank you, Space Apes. So the other bot that I'm leveling up, Skyburst, tremendous gunner. There's she's got some great potential as a gunner. Her ability isn't a one-shot type of ability, but she can soften the zone really easily, and shot, her natural firing capabilities without that special ability is a scatter shot, so she can impact multiple targets regularly. She's a big favorite among my alliance. So I've got those three, and my fourth one was Sunstreaker. So using this method, I was able to take 4-star Sunstreaker to level 40 in slightly under, I think, 5 days. That included a weekend event where the double XP was capped. So I probably could have gotten him to level 40 a little bit earlier. So I think, just for illustration purposes, I think I'm gonna pick a weaker bot to show you how it's done. I think Mirage, yeah, Mirage is 28. He's an excellent gunner as well. His ability is fun to use because it stuns bases. So let's go with that. Let's go into battle. Right now, we're gonna run those 4 bots. I recommend you run 3 or 4 bots, but you're gonna see that I'm gonna mix it up tremendously. So for my first battle, I'm gonna go into zone 10. I'm going to select, let's say I want to stick with Mirage this whole time. Let's see how far we can get him. So I'm gonna throw Mirage in there, and then I'm going to throw Windblade, OP, and Skyburst. Alright, so I'm going to go into battle. So this will be battle number 1. Oh, I hit battle too quickly, but if you caught the team squad power, it was significantly under what was recommended for this zone. So don't worry about that. You should play around with the zones that you feel comfortable with. Kind of ignore those recommendations because they're not always accurate. For power leveling, I recommend using a Sharktacon battle boost. In this case, I'm running out of my Mark IIIs. I think some people made fun of them when they first came out, but they have been huge for me in terms of power leveling. One of the things I use Sharktacons for, and it will not be applicable for this base, would be if your defenses are clustered differently. If your defenses were, say, all the way down here in this bottom part of the base, but HQ was standing alone up there, what I love to do is I would send in just one bot and then let that bot die and use Sharktacons to take out HQ. That's assuming that weapons are not in range to kill that Sharktacon. When you do something like that, you can get an insane amount of XP for bots, because critical to this power leveling technique is the fact that the fewer bots that you send in to each battle, the more XP they're going to get. And again, I'll show that later on when I don't hit battle too quickly. So in this case, that's not possible. So I won't go into that too heavily. Maybe there will be a better example later on. So really tightly clustered base here. It's great for what we want to do. Windblade's actually just going to do a hop, skip, and dance across all of these guys, and then I'm going to have the other bots take out the rest. One thing I recommend, by the way, is when you send in a team, it should be a balanced team. You should have one tank in there, usually one flyer, and one gunner or one healer. So the tank is going to take the majority of the abuse, but your gunner or your jet will be the one that one-shots all of these defensive buildings, especially the mortars and the lasers. And then you've got your third one to either heal you or to do additional damage. In this case, I've got 4 because I like to run it at a higher zone. But why don't I quit yapping and we just start throwing these guys into battle. So technique, not a huge issue at these levels. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to purposely trigger some outposts over there. Wonderful thing about Windblade, and I guess on the con side it's Dive Bomb, is she can just get herself out of trouble. Except when she does that Eternal Flight thing. Alright, so I've removed the majority of the long range threat to these guys. And let's see if I can get one more. In this case, I'm gonna let Windblade take out that shock tower all by herself. Then she's gonna take out that mortar. The rest of the guys are doing nicely. I'm not using their abilities, so I will be selective on which abilities I use. Sometimes I'll use Skyburst abilities, sometimes I'll use Windblades exclusively. But ever since they nerfed Windblade and increased her ability usage, she has been somewhat less useful. Alright, so you can see the base is pretty much cleared at this point. OP is too far for his rush. He might get killed here. That's okay, because Skyburst is just going to take care of the rest. Alright, so that's one battle down. So let's see, Mirage, I think gained, I don't know how much that was, slightly over 1,000 XP. So that's not the end of it. That's battle number one. Let's go into other battles, right? So battle number two, right off the heels of that, is I will not use that same leveling squad. If you want to get those bots up quickly, then I would you can go ahead and rerun those squads. But what I would do now is I'm going to start spreading out the cooldown costs. So in this case, if the main bot that I wanted to level up was Mirage, then I can spread out the other bots. I would pick other bots. But if I wanted to just stick to this core, I would pay the cooldown, and you can see it's going to start to get expensive. At 4 bots, all past level 40, they would be upwards of 100 coins each time. If you want to pay that, then by all means go ahead. If you don't want to pay that, then another method is I'm just going to start using all of my other top guys. Alpha Bravo. This is in zone 9. You can pick whatever zone you prefer. As you can see with I'm gonna go down a level. I'm not gonna use all these guys, but my method is I go down one level to level 9 because I know that's what I'm comfortable with. I'm gonna send in Mirage, I'm gonna send in one tank, and I'm gonna send in one other bot. I'm going to see what type of layout this is. XP you see here is gonna be 1,000 per bot if you use all 7 bots. But if you only use 3 bots, you'll get probably 2,000 or so. So this would have been excellent for Strafe to take down, but this one, I think I'll use Autobot Jazz for. So I'm just gonna send in Mirage. He can clear those other guys out, and then I'll send in Ironhide and Jazz. Alright, so send Jazz over here. This is a good one for Jazz because these are clustered, and he can take out multiple defenses in one shot. So that's one. And then I'm going to send another one there. As you saw, Mirage already got killed, but that's okay, because these bots are now strong enough. So you can see that the defenses around the HQ have been cleared. If you were in trouble, which I sometimes often get into, you can launch your Shark Decons over here, so your battle boost. So I'm going to do that right? Just to show you how fast it's gonna go. I'm gonna send them over here. They don't trigger outposts anymore, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. But they're gonna start doing some of the work for you. Send that guy in there. I'm gonna trigger the outpost, but by then it'll be too late for them to defend. Nope. And that's done. So add 2000 XP for Mirage. Well, maybe slightly less than that. And we're just gonna keep going. Next battle, zone 9 again, because I know that's what I'm comfortable with. Again, you may hit lower zones, that's fine too. I'm gonna remove Ironhide and all about Jazz. I'm gonna pay for that cooldown. The good thing about Mirage being such a low level is that cooldowns are cheap. If 9 coins is not cheap for you, then I apologize for sending the wrong message, but relatively cheap compared to a level 40 something bot. Alright, so this would have been another great base for Strafe. I gotta remember to stick him in here. The defenses are a bit more spread out here, so I think I'm gonna use Jetfire for this. So let's stick in Mirage, Pyra, and Jetfire. Take out that guy. As soon as he's done, take out that guy. And Mirage is down already. But you see how the rest of your team is now carrying you. Take out that guy. Let's see what damage his Mixmaster does. 741, okay, not too bad. And then take out that guy. And now, we've just essentially taken out his most threatening long distance weapons. Alright, so I'm going to just start speeding things up a little bit more over here because it's pretty safe. It's a pretty safe zone. And I know my bots are strong enough. So again, over here, if you get in trouble, you can use the Sharktacons. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to send Pyro over there to speed things up. They're all safe because we cleared the zone around them. So another thing you could have done is just simply fast forwarded, but we were there already. All right, so that's another. That's not a lot of XP, but it's more XP than you would have gotten if you used all 5, 6, or 7 bots, depending on how many bots your shuttle can hold. Alright, so now it becomes a rinse and repeat exercise. I'm gonna continue to hit zone 9 because that's what I'm comfortable with. I'm gonna switch this guy out. I'm gonna take this guy out. Pay that 9 coins for the cooldown. I'm gonna go into battle. So this will be a slightly more accurate representation of how much each bot would get. By the way, that XP count that's there is inaccurate. You only get anywhere from, depending on how you use your bots, and I don't know quite what the formula is, you usually only get 80 to 85, at most 90% of that listed XP. This is a great one for Strafe, so I am going to show off a little bit here. I apologize for that. I'm going to throw in Mirage, I'm going to throw in Strafe, start targeting Strafe. Alright, Strafe is within target. So now I send him off to do his thing on HQ. I'm going to fast forward this. Doesn't matter that Mirage is dead. So this is what another player referred to as standard strafe or scourge power leveling. Alright, I may be in trouble here. Send in the Sharktacons. And I'm in trouble. Wow. Let's see. All right. Well, in this case, I would be. What am I gonna do here? Send an Alpha Bravo to the rescue. That didn't quite work out. I think this guy knew that people like to. He has well-placed minds. That's what got me here. And this should finish things off. Okay, so we would have been able to get a lot more XP per bot if we didn't have to send in Alpha Bravo. But in this case, we had to so he could save the day. And Mirage is now level 29. I think that might have been close to 1800 XP. So that might be the average that you're going to get, 1800 XP for 3 bots in Zone 9. Alright, now to continue that down that thread, I'm going to go back to Zone 9. I'm going to take out Strafe. What am I going to do with Alpha Bravo? You know, I'm going to coin him. Let's just pretend that he was not engaged in that last battle. So let's get a more accurate count of what the XP would look like here. Or we could have just done the math. So XP is actually listed as 2,500 per bot. 80% of that would be... what would 80% of that be? Should be significant. It should be close to 2,100, I want to say. Someone can correct my math. Or we can go back to the video and do an actual calculation. Alright, the good news is one of the mortars here is under construction, so it will be out of commission. The other good news is these are clustered together. So at this point, my Alpha Bravo is strong enough to take out 2 of these buildings with 1 shot if I can just place that shot right in the middle of those 2. So I will definitely give that a shot. And Ultra Magnus has such great splash damage. I love the combination of Ultra Magnus and Alpha Bravo because Alpha Bravo's abilities are expensive, but Ultra Magnus can one-shot everything as well. Let's see what Alpha Bravo's at. So Alpha Bravo can already one-shot pretty much anything at this level, and certainly at Zone 12 as well in terms of mortars and lasers. Ultra Magnus, it's actually a higher listed damage than that. Not a higher listed damage, a higher damage than what's listed. Send these guys in. Check their range. Alright, so I think I'm gonna take that guy out first. Now I'm gonna take out that mortar, and I'm gonna let Alpha Bravo take care of that cannon. And now he backed up. What happened? This guy's sandbagging his base, so I'm gonna just drop it there. Oop, didn't quite take everything out. Let's drop it in the middle over there. Alright, so that successfully took out 3 weapons. There's one more that I'm concerned about over there. Speed this up a bit. Now I take care of the laser. And so this is... Alright, I'm going to let UM do his thing against HQ, which is always exciting to see. Just a crazy barrage of rockets. I'm going to speed this up. And that's done. So, how many battles is that so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 battles that we've run? Well done. And we took Mirage from, I think he was upper 28 to 29. So, yeah. So, Now, what I would do is I'm going to start cycling in some of my other teams. I'm going to go to my Zone 11 team and draw Mirage in here. Pay for that cooldown. And you can see this is obviously mostly 3 stars, but they're still usually strong enough to take on Zone 11. So I'm going to run another one. 1600 XP, 80% of that is probably 1250 XP or so. Alright, let's check these guys out. Level 10 mortars, level 6 and 7. Okay, should not be that big of a problem. What side do I want to start them off on? I think I want to go from the left side to avoid triggering that many outposts. Alright, so I have Mirage here as my... I'm sorry, I have Wheeljack here as a healer. Generally what you want to do with healers is you want to send them in last. Just delay it a little bit. If there are no damage inflicted to your bots and you send in a healer, that dude is just going to start training for the New York City Marathon and run around the entire base and get himself killed. If there are bots that are damaged, then he will behave nicely and follow them. If you do something crazy like send your Grimlock in and make him into a kamikaze suicide guy, Wheeljack or the healers may follow him as well. So you just want to be conscious of that. Sometimes I will send a bot in to trigger outpost, let that bot die before I send in the healer. That way the healer takes care of the rest of the team instead of getting himself killed in the middle of action. Alright, so I'm just going to dump these guys off here. I'm going to hold off on sending Wheeljack. Send in Mirage. Let's see, they might be able to take out that first mortal, so I'm going to focus on other stuff. So let the team just take out that first mortar. Don't panic that it's going to take them a while. Damage is actually going to be quite spread out among your team, so it'll be okay. You can go and target the distance ones. Alright, so do I need to use skydive? Nope, he's fair and okay. Oh, this is a low level 14, I didn't realize that. So what I'll do is I'll take this guy out. And I forgot to put in my healer. You bring in the healer. Let's see who's doing the most damage. I'm gonna have skydive take out the missile launcher. Alright, War of the Gunners here. My gunner won. It's pretty much a done deal here. You've got 3 guys attacking HQ. Fun thing to do is speed up their progress with Wheeljack. Get the job done faster. And Zone 11 base cleared. I think we said this was 2,000 XP or so. So we just ran 6 battles to power level Mirage. You can obviously run more or less depending on what your squad size looks like. Please know that I was using my max level bots as an example. I realize that not all of you may have max level bots, so you can scale accordingly. The method that I showed you spreads the love around your other bots while power leveling your one selective bot. Of course, if you want to focus on just one team only, so more than one bot, whether that's 1 or 4, that would cost more coins to cool down those bots. If spending coins is within your means, then give this method a try and see if it works for you. I hope that this helped you to formulate your strategy for leveling and for power leveling. If you have any questions or comments, or if you need help figuring out which bots to level up first, please just post them in the comments section below. Thanks, guys.